Go ahead and open the meeting for June 2nd, 2016. The meeting is being recorded. First announcement that there was an executive session held at the end of the last meeting on May 5th to discuss Tyler Miles' contract and the ongoing legal issues with Stoner Quality Water. As you can see on there, 7:30. It started at 7:30 and ended at 7:50. And then we'll go on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Present.
Visitors' comments? Anybody have any visitors' comments? None? Okay, we're going to move on to the approval of the agenda. Any questions on the agenda? Approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda from May 5th?
I move we approve the agenda for May 5th.
And I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Oh, that's the agenda. I'm jumping forward. I'm sorry. The agenda. Anybody any changes to the agenda?
No,
Okay, let's make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the minutes from May 5th. There we go. Any questions there? Can we get a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Treasurer's report. Hey, what's going on?
Okay. The balance in the checking account for Commonwealth as of April 30th was $214,009.37. Accounts payable was $63,513.09. The balance in the checking account as of May 31st, 2016 was $230,620.39. The balance in the savings account as of April 30th was $17,887.99. Balance as of May 31st, 2016, $22,387.05.
Approval of the bills. We went over this, Jamie, I went over this, but number 6, colored in, that was the final payoff for the filter project. It came in under the bid price.
Oh, that was,
And the Eads group was up to date with the end of the filter media project, which is on there, number 24. Any other questions on the bills?
Yeah, number 5.
5.
I was on those.
$500 for brakes.
No, TJ ended up getting rotors for the truck too.
Rotors
Well, that's
and brakes.
rotors and brakes?
Yeah, it's both, yeah.
I paid $550 having that done to my van last week.
Yeah, but these guys did it themselves. This is just the parts price here.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, rotors are usually like 50, 60 a piece at the most.
Yeah, TJ said that he'd get them there, so I was just like, alright.
Is that like the correct amount there?
It's all 4 tires.
Rotors and brakes on all 4. What? You got the receipt, correct?
Mhm.
We'll double check the receipt, Joe, see what, there might be other stuff on there. I don't know. Any other questions on the bills?
Number 42,
42, new boots, yes. Question is, they, $100 a year for boots. They've been doing it as long as I've been around and then some. Any others?
Yeah, number 44.
Debbie's time for training, Jamie.
That's
That's from pre.
That's,
She
yeah,
hasn't
that's
been doing it
from,
anymore, but
I
that's
mean,
what
she's
she
done this like
trained when she
twice.
trained her at the beginning.
Yeah,
Number 45.
For
Was that the final payment?
Yeah, that was the final payment, yeah.
Because it was like 800 and some.
Yeah, but,
Now it's down to 350.
Well, what happened was they called and asked if we needed it for another month, and I said no. I said we just needed it for like a week, and I asked if that'd be all right if we like did like switch to like a weekly rent, and they said that's fine. So that's what they did. I think it was like a week or two. I can't remember exactly,
Yeah.
but it was
Well, they made enough on the monthly.
yeah.
Another week they should have left it there for gratis.
All right, if there's no other questions, can I get a motion to approve the bill?
I move that we approve the bills and check on the number 5.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, correspondence? None? Delinquencies, Jamie.
I sent out 74, the actual date of shut off, there was 8. Everybody paid it too, they're supposed to be in on Monday and had.
All right, maintenance report. I have Dennis listed, but I have submitted by Tyler, so.
Oh, crap.
Switch it over anytime.
Whichever one of you guys take it away.
I'm just gonna say right now that me and Taylor completed a bunch of one calls and stuff like that, so I don't have to read over all of them. Bacterial results for filter number 2. Filter number 2 were sent to Lisa DEP. They came back negative, so we got the okay from her to put number 2 back online. Taylor did a final meter reading at 73 Adams.
What do you mean by that final meter reading?
Whenever someone leaves their house or trailer or something like that, we have to get a final reading at that place. Typically for like the rents and like the people that rent out and everything. That way they can be billed properly before if like a new tenant came in or something like that. So.
Yeah, it sounds like the house is getting torn down or something, like it's a final reading, you know,
Oh no, it's just for that particular person that was actually living there.
the renter.
Yeah, or yeah.
They'll do that for renters and or a real estate closing, they'll call for the final.
Okay.
I gathered basin discharge data for Brian from Eads Group. Myself and Taylor fixed a leak in the plant's chlorine line. I collected chlorine samples for the revised coliform rule. Myself and Dennis, we worked on getting filter number 2 back online, which we got done at the beginning of May, and all 4 filters were back online and actually running very well. As I mentioned, we got filter number 2 back online May 11th. Dennis and Taylor fixed Wells phosphate line. Myself and Taylor shut the water off at 148 Crabtree Lane because they needed to repair a leak. I flushed the line at 1063 River Road. Myself, Taylor, and Dennis fixed a PAX line issue. I rinsed out all turbine meters and adjusted their flows. I installed a new discharge pressure gauge for raw pump number 1, which is the pump that had a leak in it, and we had it sent away to get repaired last month. Worked on well communications with Jeff from Cambria Systems. Myself and Taylor turned the water on at 18119 Bennett Valley Highway, and also installed a new meter there as well because their meter was leaking. Taylor replaced brake pads on the work truck. Myself and Taylor ran a new chlorine line in the plant. Dennis replaced the chlorine analyzer head at the well. Dennis and Taylor repaired the chlorine pump at the plant. Lisa from DEP came in for an inspection of the plant on May 27th, and we passed and everything and should be off the consent order in the next month or two. I collected basin discharge samples for the new NPDES plant.
The reason it can't be lifted immediately is their solicitor was backed up.
Right, yeah, I got the
with the
information.
NP.
Lisa was getting all the signatures she needed, and then it goes to their solicitor, and they'll sit there, and still that solicitor gets to it, but it's considered complete once they sign off on it, so. Okay, operators report. Big pick.
The numbers for the gallons for the raw filter distribution well backwash and the number of plant hours run are listed there. We're still keeping track of the rinse water we use. We have to estimate that, but we're trying to keep track of that and that'll narrow down that difference between filtered and distribution. So we're going to keep a closer eye on that and get those numbers closer. We've got oil management coming in Tuesday to recalibrate 3 of our meters, and that should narrow those down also.
Isn't there a gauge on that outgoing on your backwash? Or is it a gauge on the incoming for the backwash? Water.
Yeah, there is, but
It doesn't work.
when we force rinse, that's raw water coming in, it goes straight to the drain, it goes through the filters to the drain.
So you can't meter it then.
Now,
Maybe we should put a
It's
meter
just-
on that then if they want one.
well, we're trying to find where all the water's going, so.
Yeah. Is it that much trouble, put a meter on, and that way they'd be happy? You
No,
know where all the
there
gallons
is
are? Too much.
4 filters, we need four four flow meters because there's 4 filters. So, and the flow meters aren't cheap. So.
Cost prohibitive
I mean, we have,
by the sounds of it.
we know how much water is going through when we force rinse because we can control that with the throttle valves. So we have a gauge that shows us how many gallons per minute are going down
Mhm.
force.
So that's
So
a
we
pretty
can
good
keep track of it
estimation.
that
Yeah,
way.
it's a pretty good estimation, isn't it?
What's that?
That's a pretty good estimation, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you look at the raw pumpage, we can control that on a force rinse with the valves.
Because I'm sure
Okay,
DEP.
but that's one of the flow meters we have to get calibrated.
Yeah, I'm sure DEP and Susquehanna River probably.
Well, DEP and
Well,
Susquehanna
yeah,
River
it's good.
Basin want them calibrated, I think it's every other year at least. So they haven't been done for a while, so 2 of them haven't been done, I know, for a long time, but the rest of them we got a couple of months ago.
Thanks, Dennis.
There's a new rule out, the revised total coliform rule. They changed that back in about 3 months ago. Instead of 2 samples a month, we had to get 4 samples a month. And we had to change locations on a couple of them because they want like closer to the dead ends on our system and the far end, because we still get Scatter Town. We get up the end of Cleveland Street, we get Caledonia, off of
Yeah.
Caledonia, and then we get the one at the post office here.
Well, I always hear people complaining about chlorine out on ends or something, they can smell it or taste it or whatever, different things, you know.
Well, I'd rather smell chlorine than not have chlorine in there.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the chlorine levels essentially in this area are actually, like, compared to the rest of the state, we're
Yeah,
actually in the bottom percentile as far, like, we like to keep it low and everything. Like, we keep it just a tad bit above what DEP recommends just to keep us safe in case something were to come up. But like I said, like other areas, I mean, some places, you're allowed up to what, I think an 8 milligrams per liter for 4.
Yeah.
It's just, like, that's what I mean. And like,
Yeah.
we're essentially,
well, yeah, you gotta play it safe, yeah.
yeah, well, and we have to feed to Houston Township too, which, I mean, as chlorine
Quite a
work goes
distance,
down the line,
yeah.
it dissipates
Yeah,
over time
quite a
and everything,
distance.
so.
Yeah, another question was, a lot of these stoppers in the toilet bowls are getting deteriorated by something out of the water. Or is that just a bad rubber made in China or something? I've had a lot of complaints on them too.
I haven't heard.
It just like deteriorates. Some people have been getting pink water down in their toilet bowl, stuff like that, where the rubber's deteriorating. Maybe it's just a Chinese rubber, who knows?
Yeah,
It was
I
a
haven't heard
good
anything
question
on
to
that.
ask to find out what's going on here.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that shouldn't be caused by any kind of chlorine, especially at the
Maybe it's
level
not
that
chlorine,
they're
maybe
at.
it's something else, I don't know. Just a question to ask.
Yeah.
Next time somebody asks you that, then you can say, yeah, that was brought up.
We got filter 2 back online on May 11th, and all 4 filters are now back online with all new media and they're all running well. We got 119 hours in the last set of runs. We backwashed today after 119 hours, which is almost 5 days.
Which is very
and the turbidities were still good, but we don't want them pushing too long. And plus the weather forecast said there was some thunderstorms coming in, and if they've been running for 5 days and you get thunderstorms, they get
Run
dirtier
well.
faster. They'll start pushing dirt through.
How often were you backwashing prior to completing the project?
Well, 2 days,
3 if lucky.
three at the top.
So you
Sometimes,
Yeah, you
24 hours.
24 hours out of filters before,
Yeah.
now they're getting 119, which is a lot better.
okay. We had the meeting and inspection with Lisa from DEP last Friday, which is about a 5-hour visit. It felt like about 15, but
Yeah,
everything was fine, and she was gonna go back and write up the report and get it signed off on up in Meadville. Worked with Brian and Tyler on the new NPDES permit. We had to get a ton of samples analyzed on the basins for the NPDES permit, because we can, after the backwash goes into the basins and it settles, we pump it out and it goes into the stream. We used to send it to the sewer authority, but now it goes into the stream, so there's a lot more testing that we've got to do. There's probably 35 tests that we had to send back in.
What goes to the stream? The supernatant, right?
Yeah, the supernatant on the
But the
basin.
solids, where do they
The
go?
solids are still on the bottom, and we get them hauled out. We take them down to,
But before, weren't they putting the supernatant into the stream?
no,
Oh, I was on,
unless you got a permit.
well, that was
We
the
just got the permit a
NPDES
couple
permit.
years ago.
No, we got it when Richard Orchak was here.
Yeah. No, we were never putting that supernatant into the stream.
Well,
As
the
far as
sewer
I know.
bill should have reflected the charges. The sewer bill is went way down. I thought the supernatant went to the stream.
No. No.
I see the right people, honestly.
We completed the non-submitted reports to DEP that were back due. We had issues with the packs and the chlorine, and like you saw in the maintenance report, we worked on all those issues, and we think we got those cleared up. One of the problems we have with the packs and the chlorine is especially the packs, the coagulant, is the distance between where the pumps are and where it goes into the wrong line. It goes around like 6 corners, and there's probably 50 feet of pipe between where the pump is and it goes into the line. So we've talked about if we can shorten that up some.
revise it, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
but we wanted to get through the consent order first and get that out of the way.
Right.
Once that's finalized, then we'll start working on tweaking the plant and getting it to run better. Distribution gallons per minute is still staying below 200 gallons a minute. It was 140 gallons a minute when we left the plant a little bit ago, so.
That's real good, yeah.
That tells me not only Houston Township's been repairing leaks, and also it just tells me that our system's still pretty tight. I mean, we've got some leaks out there, and I've talked to PRWA about coming in and doing a leak detection on the whole system. So we're gonna get that done this spring or this summer, to take a better look at that, to try to tighten the system up. All 4 filters are running well, and the consent order is looking to be lifted in the next month or 2. Lisa said probably July, until they get their attorney freed up to go to the courthouse. So, the report's done and finalized and signed off on. We just gotta get the attorneys together at the courthouse.
That'll be a relief,
Yeah. So that's the operations report.
All right, thank you, Dennis. Engineers report.
First thing, I'd just like to say that with them getting 114 hours on the filters, that's incredible. We just had a system that they didn't, well, we just started dealing with them. That same thing, their filters weren't done correctly. Right now, out of their one filter, they're getting 4 hours of runtime before having to backwash it.
Wow,
114 is just amazing.
spectacular.
Mainly, we've just been working on getting the resource development plan to SRBC. Just, they wanted, I'm not sure exactly why, they wanted proof to say that the 3 sources that the authority now has is going to be adequate for future expansion, for population, industry, and everything.
That's what they're going to say.
Yeah, All the numbers show that it's gonna be more than adequate. That well's rated to do, is it 265,000 a day. Even now, your average flow 235. Plus, on peak days, you have 680,000 gallons of storage, so they should have no problem. You shouldn't have any issues with that. And then, like Tyler and Dennis said, we've been working on getting the NPDS renewal in. We have all the samples done, all the municipal notifications in, so it shouldn't be long before we have that in. We have to have it in, I believe it's by July 4th. Because the current permit doesn't expire till December 31st, and they want it in 180 days beforehand.
I had a question on that well, that revised pump that they put in there, that's doing a trick now compared to what the old
Yes.
pump that they.
Yeah, because it's being run off of VFD, 'cause we're not allowed to run over 200 gallons per minute. So that VFD's set at 198, 200, right in that area.
Yeah, what I'm getting at though, that pump's adequate because there was a pump in there, a brand new pump that they took out.
Yeah, that 15
But
horse,
it was
I believe
too
it
small
was.
or something, I don't know, maybe it was
Yeah.
the capacity.
Yeah, I think
wasn't
Dennis
right.
finally found the specs on the pump that was down in there.
Well,
Yeah,
that
the
pump,
20 horsepower is doing great.
Yeah, that pump, we're not gonna use it, or we're gonna keep that, Tyler, for backup.
No, I definitely want to sell it.
Well, we're gonna advertise it then and put it online and get rid of it.
Yeah, we have-
Now that you found a spec sheet on it, you can put that in your advertisement.
Yeah, because we don't have a use for it. I mean, if something happens to the pump at the well, can't use that one. I mean, it's not powerful enough, so.
Yeah.
Well, you do happen to know a guy that talks to a lot of people through Pennsylvania Rural Water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the engineer's report. Old business, number one, uniform rates. Does anybody have anything new for uniform rates tonight? Table that until we hear any more from Jim, currently working on other things. Merging of the water and sewage boards, there's been no real movement there yet either, that I'm aware of.
No, we have more important things right now, before if we get into something like that.
All right, new business, Stoner. Okay, we need a motion authorizing Jim DiVittorio, our solicitor, to take action against Stoner Quality Water for breach of contract.
I so move.
Get a second?
I'll second it, yeah.
All in favor? Aye.
Do you know what you're asking for in dollar amount?
We've had some discussions with him back and forth. It's all attorney-client privilege at the moment, but yeah,
Alright.
he needed an official motion from the table in order to
Okay,
take further action, yeah. Okay. Anything else before we?
Well, I'm sure there's enough damages in there that hopefully it'll all come out the way we want it to, you know.
We are gonna hold an executive session immediately following the meeting just to discuss Tyler's contract with Tyler. But if there's nothing else, then we can adjourn.
I make
Commissioner?
a move that we adjourn.
Okay. Joe,
I'll
second.
second it.
All in favor? Aye.